Live. I always start every live on Facebook and Zoom saying, I think we're live. So I'm not going to break the tradition today. So welcome along to episode 6, I believe, of Book Club. And those of you that were with us from the beginning of last year, we kind of revamped it a few weeks ago, hence why it was now just episode 6. But originally we started the original Book Club last year, really because it was a time like now where I felt it would be just nice to be able to connect with new people, build a bit of community, and just be here for anybody who just wants to, sort of use this time for a little bit of personal development, a little bit of reading, maybe touching on things they wouldn't normally have had a look at. So that is the whole point of Book Club, really. So feel free to share this video when you're watching it, or if you're seeing it on YouTube or Instagram or any platforms, feel free to share it with anyone you think it might be helpful for, because we cover all sorts of subject matter as long as it pertains to personal growth, development in some way. So anyway, enough of the rattle from me. I am going to do 2 things this evening. First of all, I'm going to just quickly give you guys a rundown for those of you that have joined me in reading Sue Stone's book, a couple of takeaways from that. And then I'm going to introduce my very special guest this evening, John. I know, this is so exciting. I'm really, really excited about John, but we'll get onto that in a minute because I'll just rattle. So talking about Sue Stone, those of you that were with us for the original Book Club last year, Sue was one of my first guest authors I was introduced to through a friend. I bought her book straight away, loved it. It's called The Power Within You Now. It's very, very good it's perfect for me because at the time, hadn't really done much on this kind of stuff, very much spiritual, visualization, manifesting, abundance, all this kind of stuff. And it's not something I was particularly familiar with. So I'm very new to the game still, as it were. So this is a great all-round book to start you off with that kind of thing, because it gives you a little bit of everything. And, Sue's also talking about empowerment, which is especially, relevant today on International Women's Day. She's also pops in a little bit of quantum physics in there. So it really is good for everybody. So definitely give that one a read. One of my favorite bits, which I'm going to read to you, and I'm going to have to put the glasses on because, sorry, 47 next month, the glasses creep up on you, is about money. Now, I know that for many of us, money is, it can be a touchy subject, but I think when you take it back to, what money is all about, a Bank of England note itself, if you think about it, only actually costs a few pence to produce, but it's because of the value and the faith that we put in it. That's where you've got, or rather, sorry, the trust and the faith we put in it. That's where it becomes valuable to us. So I'm just going to tell you this very, very quick story that Sue writes of in her book, and then I shall move on to my guest. But I think it's just such a great story. So this is a short story about a little Greek village that really helped Sue in her transformation with how she thought about money, and went from having literally being down to her last £10 in her purse to then, coming out the other side and changing her life, basically. So here's a little story. It is a slow day in a little Greek village. The rain is beating down and the streets are deserted. Everybody is in debt, times are tough, and everybody lives on credit. On this particular day, a rich German tourist is driving through the village, and he stops at the local hotel and lays a €100 note on the desk, telling the hotel owner that he wants to inspect the rooms upstairs in order to pick one to spend the night. The owner gives him some keys, and as soon as the visitor has walked upstairs, the hotelier grabs the $100 note and runs next door to pay his debt to the butcher. The butcher then takes that €100 note and runs down the street to repay his debt to the pig farmer. The pig farmer takes that €100 note and heads off to pay his bill at the supplier of feed and fuel. Then it gets interesting. The guy at the farmers cooperative takes a €100 note and runs to pay his drinks bill at the tavern. The publican slips the money along to the local prostitute drinking at the bar, who has also been facing hard times and has had to offer him services on credit. The hooker then rushes to the hotel and pays off her room bill to the hotel owner with the €100 note. The hotel owner then places the €100 note back on the counter so that when the rich traveller will not suspect anything. At that moment, the traveller comes down the stairs, picks up the €100 note, says that the rooms are not satisfactory for him, pockets the money and leaves town. No one produced anything. No one earned anything. However, the whole village is now out of debt and looking to the future with a lot more optimism. Such a great story. I love that.
That's the best story I've ever heard in my life.
I know, it's so clever. It's so good. And when I first read that in Sue's book, it was one of those ones that I didn't know if to laugh or just literally phone everyone up and tell them.
I really love that.
It's good, isn't it? It's such a great story. So anyway, John, so thank you very much for, first of all, coming on this evening.
Oh man, now I've got to top that story.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I just wanted to give a quick background. So John and I don't really know each other. This is the first time we've met face to face, as it were, because this is how face to face is these days. And John just popped up on my newsfeed. I saw he was an author. I saw he'd written a book. So what did I do? I bought his book and I asked if he'd like to come onto book club, because he's up the road, quite local. He's in Somerset as well, when I'm just in Dorset, so we're not too far from each other. And when I saw one of his interviews that he was doing with someone else in a group, I was like, this guy is right up my street. I love the premise behind the book. So I'm going to start by just asking you to introduce yourself, John. Like, who are you? What are you all about? Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm John Freeman. I'm the Stressbuster. I spend my life helping professional women ditch their stress and unleash their amazingness. And I come from a very, very stressful, depressing, anxiety-ridden, horrible background of struggle and strife and misery and loneliness and making life very hard for myself for a very long time. I actually only discovered there was a difference between a positive and a negative attitude when I was 28 years old, which was actually 31 years ago, the end of January. And I declared to everybody, that's it, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to be rich and famous. And all I really did was just create the most incredible stress for myself.
Yeah.
And really lived on the edge of sanity for about 30 years. Really bad stress. That's a whole new story that you don't have time for tonight.
No, it's good context. Good context.
It's great context. I was just talking to people tonight, some coaching clients, and I was talking about, I've been there, I've lived that horrible life, and now I am surrounded and full of joy and love and happiness and abundance, and everything is wonderful. And really, I'll tell you, really, it's because of what I do in this, what I talk about in this. It's putting it into action every day, every day, every day.
It's like anything, isn't it? You have to be consistent to see the results. And I
was just saying tonight, the most important thing in the world is to fill your day with positive habits.
Oh, yeah.
And I can honestly say from the journey I've been on for the last, 60 odd years, I can honestly say that the secret to success and happiness is the amount of positive habits you have in your day.
Yeah.
Miserable people will have no positive habits.
It's just that hamster wheel
of
misery,
we
isn't
create it for ourselves. And I was saying 31 years ago when I started on that journey, I started reading these self-help books and I started writing out my affirmations.
Yeah.
And I'd get up in the morning, I'd read my affirmations. Go to bed at night, read my affirmations. No feelings, no care, no attention. I just thought I was doing enough. And I was stressed and I was busy. And it isn't enough. And you'll see at the back of this book is a list that goes on for quite a while of the positive habits I had in my life. And that was 5 years ago. And I'm going to say I've got twice as many positive habits in my life now that are in the book. And when we practice a positive habits, we are that person we want to be in that moment.
Your awareness is where it should be, isn't it?
That's it there. We are that person we choose. And so when we do that all the time, then we are that person all the time.
I suppose you have to be purposeful. You can't just float through. You have to be
number
purposeful.
one. You've got to choose who you want to be.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got to choose anything. Choose how you want to feel. That'll do for a start. We don't have to, I don't know. Well, you want to feel good.
Yeah.
But choose to feel good. And then
exactly. It's always a choice, isn't it? Always a choice. And that's one thing I've not obviously read all the book yet. I will have done by next week. But I love the line I saw in it was good feelings attract good things. And that I think is so true. I said something, oh God, it was probably last year. I was doing a live about negative and positive thoughts. And I was just saying that all my life, I have honestly, truly believed that when you put negativity out, you get nothing from it. It's not going to do any good to anybody. It's going to literally just go.
Even after
you put positivity out, you get it back. And
even after I discovered that difference,
I
was still very negative for a very long time. you know, because you've got to really work at it and understand it and get it and just keep doing it and keep doing it. And you know why it took me so long? I didn't ask for help. And in you know, even the last year, I've been asking for so much help about this, for that. And it just, the difference is amazing. But I was always busy being angry. So get away from me, get away. I'm all right.
I think as well, I can really relate to that because I've always been positive. So that's not been my issue. I've always been positive. But my problem is I always used to see asking for help as weakness.
Yeah.
That I was failing. And that it's not that I thought I knew everything, but I was like, oh, you know, I can't be asking for help from people because that makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing.
It's the big obstacle. We all love to help people, but we hate to ask people for help. We are robbing people of the opportunity to feel good.
Yeah.
By not asking for help. It's ridiculous. And
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
If you're in pain, you know, the big obstacle is ask for help. Because once you get over that, rest is easy.
Exactly. And I think for me, it's been a really good learning curve because I've had coaches and stuff like that now. And I've realized that, you know, like having a business coach or having a coach for your fitness, whatever it is, you know, you're just, that person has, like you, that person has lived it so they can just get you the results quicker. That's all it is. It's not like you're not good enough.
You let me help you. It's not going to take you 31 years.
Exactly. That is exactly the point. So that brings me nicely onto my next question. You know, who is this book for? So you're the Stressbuster. We've established that, especially for women. But who, is there like a sort of certain demographic you could describe out there right now?
On the surface, it's about visualization.
Yeah.
And it's about feelings. But really, it's for anybody who wants to come home to themselves and create good feelings.
Yeah.
And really, I think the book, there's a lot about the subconscious in there and understanding how the subconscious works and understanding how the subconscious responds to what we do. Again, it comes back to habits and what have you. But it's for anybody who wants to get something in life that they are currently not getting. So if you have something you don't want, or you want something you don't have, if you follow the instructions in here, then you will get it. You get a lot of people saying you've got to be specific. You don't say just, you know, you're helping people get what they want, but actually it doesn't matter what you want. This will get it for you, but you've
process is the same, basically.
It's the same thing. Yeah. So, you know, the book goes into, you know, what is creation, how we create. You know, I talk in there, we have the same power as God. We have the power of creation. Many people have proved that to be true. It's not pie in the sky. No. So I talk about how that works within the subconscious, why the subconscious does that for us, what the subconscious is. And the subconscious is not a part of our brain. The subconscious is the infinite intelligence that created everything, which is inherent within every cell of our body.
Yeah.
Our subconscious is our body. It's the intelligence that lives within us that turned us from a seed that split the cell, and every cell knows where to go and what to do and what to grow into. How the hell does that happen?
Oh yeah, I've just finished The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and that we featured a couple of weeks, and that she talks a lot about that as well. And it's so interesting. The same thing. You think, God, you know, like that. Your body knows. Your body knows.
We've got a very good friend who's just had a baby, and this little cherished. You know, that's a bloody miracle, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
If we can create life, we can create anything else we want. We can create happiness, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's our mission.
Work at it. Yeah. And we've got to, you know, there are roadmaps. It's really weird. I'm saying so much stuff now that I hear way back from 30 years ago. I read or I heard. Oh my God! Now I'm saying it because I get it. And this stuff is been written about and proved for centuries. It works. Yeah. If we follow the processes, and I'm just one in a long line of people that are really saying the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trying to say it in different ways that, you know, it comes filtered through me and comes through my view.
And it's a message, isn't it? You know, because like everyone's going to hear you know, like you're a guy as well, which is great. Because like it might be that some people would listen to you over a woman. And I know that sounds an awful thing to say, but
it's timing, it's the person, and it's your receptiveness at the time, and it's listening to me, but next week you'll listen to someone else, and the two things connect.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can tell instantly how passionate you are as well about it, which is just
because I've spent 31 years working to be this man.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, honestly, I'm at this place where I can suddenly see my path and where I want to go, which is the same path that I thought 31 years ago, but I didn't dare to believe that it was true then.
Yeah.
Well, now it's suddenly, oh my God, I can do this. And then it's like, oh my God, I am doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm doing it every day. And it started with affirmations, words. And I talk a lot about affirmations in here because I think they're the basis of a good visualization. If we could start saying words that resonate with us and create good feelings, then the subconscious will feed the visualization to us.
Yeah.
Relax in a bath with those words going through your head, your subconscious,
your awareness will pick it up.
Your subconscious start feeding you pictures that match that. And once you do that, it's all about feelings. We want to feel good. You know, we want to lose weight so that we feel good. Well, just feel good. Stop hating yourself because you're fat and start loving yourself because you're fat, and you'll soon not be fat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's so amazing. I mean, I love, like you say, it's the message is the same through lots of different formats and lots of different people, but it's getting it out there, and everybody has a slightly different way of like putting their spin on things as well.
Yeah.
And you're a mouthpiece for, you know, like, and the thing is as well, I was going to say to you just quickly is I kind of feel that the message that you have and that a lot of people have, I think social media is a double-edged sword. We wouldn't have met had it not been for social media. But I think half the reason we're in a lot of this mess is because of technology. It is because we have closed ourselves off maybe to other things.
We've all got a choice.
Exactly. So
it comes down to that same thing. Who am I? Who do I choose to be? You know, and people talk a lot of negativity about say Facebook, but I spend a lot of time on Facebook. I don't get any negativity.
No, I don't. Yeah, but that's because I went through my friends list. I think that helps.
I see it. You know, you moan twice, you're out, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't do moaning people. I do happy. I look for friendly, happy, fun people, and then lo and behold, guess what? My whole day is full of fun and happy people.
That's it. That's the way to do it, isn't it? So that's what I mean. I think that like technology is such a good thing when it's used in the proper way. As long as and I said this to a lady I was talking to the other day, Magical and Messy on Instagram, lovely lady. And we were talking about how, you know, like technology has maybe blinkered us to some of the more spiritual things that are going on that we need to be aware of. But it doesn't mean we can't use technology and use social media in harmony. It's just getting that balance, isn't it? So, and I think that's where, you know, like situations like this come in perfectly, because we're able to get your message out there a little bit more, you know, like talking about
anybody face to face for a year.
Oh, I know, it's bizarre. What are we going to do when we're all going to be, everyone's just going to be like,
I'm quite happy in my office. I don't need to go out.
It's going to be bizarre. So this brings me on nicely to the next thing I was going to say to you. Obviously, you know, like first things first, where can people get hold of your book, John?
It's only available on Amazon. It can come in paper book or Kindle.
Okay, I will put a link on the Facebook page where this is streaming. I'll put a link on there to that, so that's fine. And if anybody wants to find out more about working with you, what sort of things can you offer people that more over and above just the book?
I'm the Stressbuster. Everything I do begins with getting rid of your stress. I believe stress is the cause of all of our problems. Stress is the enemy of all good things. Stress busting is the shortcut to everything you want. So everything I do is to do with stress. So I have basically three things that I offer. Yeah. I have an intensive 1-to-1 1-month program. It's a rapid burnout recovery program. Very, very effective for people who can't cope anymore. Yeah. It's, you know, when you're what I was for all that time and you can't cope, I can get you coping again very, very quickly. Because the only thing that stops us coping is stress. And when we get rid of stress, we all have the natural ability to cope with anything. Very, very effective. It's stress busting is the thing it's the first thing we should all do. And it's the last thing any of us do.
Yeah.
We don't do it. But if we do it, then all the problems just get up and walk away by themselves. We don't have to work on the problems. We work on the stress.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I do. I have a 10-week small group program called the Spirited Woman. And it's almost new. I'm just running the first one now. The second one starts on the 24th of March. It is amazing. It's about ditching your stress and unleashing your amazingness. It's about coming home and choosing who you want to be. Everything I've talked about tonight, we cram it into this 10 weeks and we build that woman from the inside out and push away and push out all that old you and get rid of it and get you making positive choices. This is the new me. This is new me. Feeding the subconscious, getting the subconscious on side and helping you so that you get stronger and better and happier. And it's just brilliant. And I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah.
I've only just opened it up for the next one. I've still got 4 places available on it. So if anybody wants to jump on that, come on and talk to me.
I'll put the link on for that as well for you to your website. No problem.
The other thing I do is I make guided meditation recordings, but I make them to order as well. So I do them as well, and they are very effective. I think they are the best in the world. I think they're the most effective in the world, because they have a very, very strong connection. My intention when I make them is to have a very strong connection and move you forward.
Yeah.
So they go beyond the just, I want to calm down and relax. They actually have an end purpose to help pull you towards where you want to go. They're not going to do the whole job for you, but they're a great way of kicking you off and starting. So that's quite an inexpensive way to work with me and get yourself kicked off. Yeah. And for an absolute free way of getting hold of me, come and join my group, the Positive Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is full of positive women.
Positivity. That's what we want. That's my sort of slogan, purposefully positive. That's what I'm all about as well. So I love that. That's why it's
everything I do start with the stress. So we're all about living stress-free, ditch the stress. And stress, it doesn't matter what you have to deal with out there.
Yeah.
That's not causing your stress. The paradox is, and this is the first thing I teach, the paradox is your stress is causing all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of your stress and all that will stop happening to you, because we get stress is like 5 stress chemicals surging through our body and we become addicted to it. The same we do sugar and alcohol and drugs and anything else. We get addicted to the stress chemicals. So we start creating things subconsciously, so we don't know we're doing it, but create our stress.
Yeah, it's logical. It is so logical what you're saying, and it's like you say, it's probably the last thing people think of dealing with first. But I just want to thank you for your time tonight, because it has been so fantastic.
Thank you for asking me. It was brilliant.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm sure we'll be able to do more together as well. I've got a few other groups that I think would be great for you to speak in. But for now, just to say, if anyone wants to get hold of John, as he said, I'm going to be putting the links to on all the formats where this is going to go. I will put the links to him so you can get hold of him, and I'm sure he won't mind. If you want to join his Facebook.
Thank you, lovely. And if anybody wants to chat, just tell me.
Perfect. Oh, thank you. It's so good. And I cannot wait to finish reading this, and I'll be back next week with my take.
Don't forget your 10 free recordings.
I know. I've seen this. I'm like, I can't wait. I love an audio me. That's how I walk around with speakers on all day like that.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you so much, John. Thank you again for your time, and thank you guys. We will see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for
having me.
And
any questions, just shout. Bye for now.